Arthur Park is the latest scene of a massive immigration raid. Heavily armed federal agents on horseback and in military vehicles descend. But as Laura Diaz shows us, things ended differently this time.
This is an overreach of your authority.
By 11:10, there was tanks and all this. They got tanks all through here. They got the white vans. They got the trucks. They got all this out.
About 10:30 Monday morning, heavily armored Border Patrol officers with a fleet of vehicles and some on horseback descended on MacArthur Park. This is the heart of the immigrant community, just 2 miles from downtown L.A. Sky Fox was overhead as the operation kicked in. Our Fox 11 photographer Sam Dubin on the ground recording the dramatic scene. Immigration agents in military green carrying rifles. Neighbors and community activists rushed to the park, challenging those in the action. Children were scurried from the urban park.
The military pointed their guns at us and they were screaming at us, cursing to get the out of there.
Among those arriving on the scene was L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, flanked by security and in a crush of people pushing for the operation to end. Our camera caught her on the phone, pleading with officials to stop.
You're getting ready to leave? Okay, please, can you leave ASAP?
My comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now.
Soon after, the operation ended, reportedly with not one undocumented person taken into custody. A couple of hours later, a news conference was called at L.A. City Hall with the mayor surrounded by community activists and city council members denouncing the raid. Fox News spoke exclusively with Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino, who had tough words for Bass.
The federal government is not leaving L.A. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now because this is going to be normal very soon.
He's calling for you to get used to it. What is your response?
I'm not going to get used to it. I'm not going to get used to it because last I checked, I was elected to be mayor of the city. That did not include a federal takeover. So either you believe in democracy or you don't.
Homeland Security would not confirm or deny whether there were any arrests during today's operation. We can confirm that Fox 11 was above MacArthur Park for an entire hour, and we did not witness any arrests taking place. I'm Laura Diaz reporting for Fox 11 in downtown L.A.
In her story, you heard from the chief agent of the Border Patrol, Gregory Bovino. In addition to touching on MacArthur Park, he doubled down, saying agents wouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon.
We had 50 teams out today spread across Los Angeles. So with those 50 teams, you were with one of those 50 teams. So our goal here at MacArthur Park, as well as anywhere in Los Angeles, is to go after that Title VIII mission. We're here to arrest them. And the operation is going to be over when we complete the mission. Tens of millions of illegal aliens in our country, many millions here in Los Angeles, and that's what we're here to do. That's what we're after here in Los Angeles. We're not going anywhere soon. We'll leave when the operation's over.
More of that interview is on our website. Bovino talks about the increase in attacks to Border Patrol agents and other law enforcement officers, and also talks about the CBP One app. You can look for it on foxla.com.
Yeah, that interview with Fox's Bill Maluzhin, who was first to report on the raid today. Meanwhile, Governor Newsom came to Southern California today to mark 6 months of wildfire recovery. But during that event, which I was at with him, those raids were underway.
What a disgrace, what's happening in MacArthur Park. What theater.
Governor Gavin Newsom slamming President Trump for the federal immigration raid on MacArthur Park, including horses and troops.
That's the message from the polluted heart of the President of the United States.
Governor, the Border Patrol Chief, Gregory Bovino, said to Fox,
the federal government is not leaving L.A. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished.
What's your response?
Tough guy. He does work for us. He may want to check his pay stub. He's a public servant. We're taxpayers. He works for the people of the United States of America.
These images distracting a bit from these images of rebuilding.
Oh my God.
exactly 6 months since California's wildfires in January.
I wanted just to briefly sort of mark this moment.
The governor hosting an event at Pasadena City College featuring a variety of leaders that give credit to the Trump administration for what they call the fastest fire recovery in modern history. Debris removal is 96% complete by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
And this is going to be something that is going to help people navigate the rebuilding effort.
LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger lays out what she calls the blueprint for the next steps, including streamlining permitting, accelerating inspections, restoring key home utilities, and water, gas, power, and internet coordination. That could include AI-powered permitting within the next week to speed up the process.
You put out a letter to DWP.
In January, Governor Newsom told us that he was launching an investigation into all the water issues that made the fires worse. Today, I asked for an update.
We'll have that information for you in August.
A big question now, will House Republicans fund more assistance for Californians, especially those uninsured and underinsurers?
You know, the governor has asked for $40 billion from the federal government to help pay for all of this.
Democratic Congressman Brad Sherman represents the Palisades.
Frankly, I don't think we'll get the entire request. To me, the most important part of the request is what would go to individuals who lost their businesses or lost their homes.
He says aid for Texas's flood victims could be part of one big bill that would also help California.
Those two disasters and other disasters.
Do you think Republicans are going to give you the money that you're asking for if this conflict...
We're all in this together. I'm going to South Carolina. I think they should get every penny of what they need. North Carolina should get every penny of what they need.
The governor says he's going to South Carolina this week to discuss disaster relief strategies. But the state also happens to be a key early state in the Democratic presidential primary process.
So are we still at sub-zero interest in running for president?
Oh, God. I mean, Jesus. That's just...
Cynics? What's cynics?
That's cynics. As he smiles, for the record, for all of you who couldn't see his face.
Well, if you notice, for the record, he didn't answer the question. So I don't think...
You covered him a lot.
I don't think we're at sub-zero interest anymore in terms of running for president. I mean, going to South Carolina is making a statement.
But really important issues at hand here. And you also talked to Mayor Karen Bass.
Yes, spent some time with her at City Hall today. She was supposed to be at that event with the governor, but then went to MacArthur Park instead. We'll have that conversation coming up at 10:30.
A massive raid at MacArthur Park.
That raid by federal agents led LA Mayor Karen Bass to show up and essentially ask for them to leave. And not long after she did, they left. I spoke with the mayor late today at LA City Hall.
Mayor Bass, when you first started to see the images of what was happening in MacArthur Park, what went through your mind?
Well, I was horrified. I mean, what went through my mind was those occasions when I would travel overseas and see a city or a country under siege by their military in preparation for a coup. That's the imagery that I had in my mind.
And you went there.
And I went
Walk
there.
us through what happened there.
Well, sure. I went there because I wanted to know who was in charge so that I could find out what was the mission and how to get them to leave, because chaos was beginning. And of course, you know, when something that egregious as having it look like there are troops on the ground, you know that could create a crowd, and then we could have a lot of problems. So instead of solving problems, they're creating problems, and I think that's really egregious.
The Border Patrol chief that you talked to on the phone told Fox later, basically, we're not leaving.
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now, because this is going to be normal very soon.
And Mayor Bass basically doesn't have any control over what we do.
But just think about that. You know, what happened today, you had a group of kids who were in summer camp that then had to leave the playing field because the troops were coming through, and now they have to stay inside. They missed their activities for the day because they wanted to shelter them from the shock of ice. And so the problem is that they say that it's going to continue. We need to get used to it. Continue what? Continue what? The reign of fear and terror on our city toward no end? I don't even know if anybody was detained. I'm not even sure they had a clear purpose to be there other than a show of force.
Well, they've said that MacArthur Park is run by MS-13, that there are gangs, that there's all sorts of problems, drug use there.
And you know what? We have a police department. We have a police department that is
You
clearly...
think they're doing a good job there, though?
I absolutely think they are, and we've been working together along with the council person. These problems can't be solved overnight. The park is in much better situation than it was. We've had a dramatic drop in violent crime. And so what problem were they here to solve? We didn't ask for them to come. Chief McDonald didn't say, hey, we need some help. Nobody asked for their help. So what was the point?
All that being said, we don't see any end to all this anytime soon.
You heard from the Border Patrol right there.
I mean, the Border Patrol basically saying, we're going to keep doing this. Mayor Bass doesn't seem like she's sitting down with them anytime soon. I mean, it's too bad there can't be some sort of negotiated compromise to end this sort of thing.
The visual with the horses is something I don't recall seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it was sending quite a message. I mean, the administration was saying, Mayor Bass, we have the right to do it. We're going to come right into the heart of your city and send a message. The question is sort of where do we go from here, and is it possible that we maybe cool down the tension?
Well, you guys just did a really big operation in downtown LA today. MacArthur Park, it's a pretty rough area of town. What was the goal of that operation?
Sure, Bill, the goal of all of our operations, and we had 50 teams out today spread across Los Angeles. So with those 50 teams, you were with one of those 50 teams. So our goal here at MacArthur Park, as well as anywhere in Los Angeles, is to go after that Title VIII mission. Title VIII being our immigration statutes, whether it's targeted enforcement of special interest aliens or any illegal alien that we come into contact with, we're here to arrest them.
Karen Bass showed up and she got on the phone with you about 60 yards away. What were you guys talking about? What'd she say?
Sure, Mayor Bass and I talked for just a few seconds there on the phone, and she asked when the operation was going to be over. Now, I believe that would be the overall operation here in Los Angeles, and the operation is going to be over when we complete the mission. Tens of millions of illegal aliens in our country, many millions here in Los Angeles. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're after here in Los Angeles. We're not going anywhere soon. We'll leave when the operation's over.
Mayor, sorry, go ahead.
And Bill, something else I think this speaks to the fantastic support that we're getting from President Trump, Secretary Noem, and others in the administration when they talk about the CBP One app. I think what you saw today in MacArthur Park, as well as those other 50 teams spread across greater Los Angeles, is the fact that it would behoove you, if you're an illegal alien, to use the CBP Home app. Get your $1,000, your free plane ticket home. If not, we're going to come arrest you. I think what you saw today is proof of that. We'll go anywhere, anytime in Los Angeles or anywhere else that we need to accomplish that mission.
And to that point, Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, is on TV, it seems almost every day, saying that the federal government has to leave LA and these operations have to stop. What's your message to her?
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now, because this is going to be normal very soon.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add?
Actually, Bill, there is something I'd like to add. The men and women here with the U.S. Border Patrol, Customs and Border Protection, which is Office of Field Operations, Air and Marine, and Border Patrol, doing a fantastic job in a very non-permissive environment. When we have politicians calling for gang members like 18th Street or MS-13 to take up positions against law enforcement, we've got a problem there. And we see that violence every day perpetrated against our agents, as well as the allied law enforcement agencies that are giving us a hand, whether it's FBI or DEA or any of the other ones. There is a high level of violence here. When you hear that statistic, 500% increase in assaults, that's really true. I've had the opportunity to go out with agents and officers, and I've seen it myself. That violence against agents and law enforcement in general, that's unacceptable. And when we have politicians or other individuals, other extremists that talk about that, that doesn't do this mission any good. We're here to conduct a mission legally, ethically, and morally, and that's what we do every day. And we're going to continue, as I said, to conduct that mission. Use that CBP Home app and self-deport yourself. If not, we'll do it.